All right, so this goes up one directory. So it goes up to one directory, which is most likely the parent directory of the current working directory, right? So now we have another popular command called ls. So ls is just used to list both files and directory. Okay, and we'll also be working on now. There's also something called roots. Like there's something the popular stuff, something called roots directory and home. That's home directory. We've heard of it before. So the symbol for root directory is just a forward slash like this, a single forward slash like this. While the symbol for home directory is a tilde sign, kind of like an earthworm snake kind of sign. So this is a root directory. This root directory is just like the roots, or like, imagine a tree, like the roots of the whole of that tree. For example, in your Windows laptop, your root directory in your Windows laptop is this Windows C. This C dot is the root directory for Windows. So that's what we mean by root directory. So home directory is just the account you use to register, to use to open account in your Windows. Like if you log in now, you'll see your name there. Then it asks you to put your password. So that's just an example of home directory. All right. So whenever I see these symbols, just know the position you are in. All right. So now to get to the home directory, there's a short command of doing that, which is just typing cd and hit enter to directly take you to the home directory. Another way of doing it is writing cd until that sign after it. But you can just write only cd, you don't need to write the tilde sign. Right. So this is just a short way of going directly to your home directory. So let me just say maybe change to home directory. All right. Now there's also another one called cd
Okay.
space dash. Now what this one does is that it takes you back to the previous working directory. So wherever you are, if you just type cd space dash, to take you to the previous directory you were in before you go to that current place that you are in. Well, most times I don't use this as much though, but just in case you see it or you see someone using it, so you understand what it means.
Okay.
And now there's also there's something called path names, and this path name has two types. That's the absolute, and it has another part called the relative. Now the relative is the popularly used one because it's kind of like faster to use. But at the same time, some might just want to use absolute. So the difference between this relative and absolute, that the absolute often starts with the root directory. That means, for example, when I said this is the root directory, imagine I want to go to my home directory now. I can just type cd and to take me straight up to the home directory. Okay, and the paths to when we are saying paths in computer, what we mean is that the direction, like if I enter this desktop now, I mean this document, and I enter on that stuff like this. Now, all this thing up here is the paths. So the roots, remember I said the roots for Windows is C. So I enter inside the user, I enter inside my name, I enter inside documents, so all this stuff is what we call a path. It's like a direction of where you are entering. You understand? So we have two types of path names. We have the absolute and the relative. Now for the absolute always starts from that root directory. All right. So from that root directory, that's where the absolute usually starts. So if I want to use the absolute method, I'll just say, okay, from the root, I want to go inside the home. From the home, I will enter inside my user, that's my username for that account. Then from the username, I can get into the major position of where I want to go in the home directory. But if you are using the relative, what you do for the relative, from the root, you just say cd home, then again cd user. When you do cd user, then to take you to that position. But just that the shortcut of this whole step now is just to simply just write cd and to take you there directly like that. So this is how absolute works. It always starts from the origin, from the root, then you take it
Okay.
step by step. Why this one relative, you be the one moving in one by one. You don't need to stay one place and be putting all the tracks. You just be the one entering by yourself, cd home, enter the next one by yourself. You understand? But if I just do this one from here now, CD, all of this, to take me straight up to the same thing in one single line. But this one, I'm taking it in steps, entering in steps in this other side. Do you understand?
Okay.
All right. Now there's something about Linux naming of files or folders in Linux. So Linux is case sensitive, sensitive, which means if you have a file and you name that file, let me just say file name is the name you name that file. If you name another file file name, is another different name entirely, because this one is small letter f, this one is capital letter f. So even if you also do it something like FINANAME, so it's case sensitive. There are different files as it is like this. All right. So it's just keep it in mind that Linux names of files and directories are always case sensitive. Always. So anytime you want to refer to a file, you have to call the original name. You can't just type it anyhow. You have to call the original type of name. So we'll soon test that very soon. Okay. And just to explain something about this whole concept of dots that we are doing, like this single dot means the current place you are in, or current working position. Let me just say current place. Then when you are putting double dots, now it's no longer the current place. You are going up one step. So that's the difference between all these dots stuff. All right. So this page will have cd dot dots. That's why it's taking it up. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's just what they mean. So lastly, let me add by saying there's also another command called clear. So this clear command is used to clear the terminal, the screen itself, the Linux terminal screen, to clear everything you've written there. But it doesn't clear your work. It just clears the screen so that you see space to write other things you want to write. All right. So there's also another shorter way of doing it without using this clear. But if you use this clear, to really clear it. So there's a short way of doing it that it won't clear it, but to bring space for you to write the rest in. So to take as if it's taking it one page up. So the short command is using your control keyboard plus L. So I will hold control key and I'll tap letter L in my keyboard. So it's another shorter way of doing the same stuff. Right, I think this information is well enough. So let's finalize some of this before we move on to extra commands. But is there any question as far as this
Mm-mm.
command? Okay, no question. Good.
Mm.
Okay, so let's flex our hands now. So I'm in my Ubuntu. Normally, whenever you open Ubuntu, you always take it to the home directory. Now, remember what I said about the home directory? For you to know this is the home directory, I said this is the symbol for the home directory here. That's earthworm sign. That is the user
That's
sign.
yeah.
So if you look at it here, that's what is. Yes, so you know that this is my home directory. Let me scroll up. All right, but I would like to go up to the major routes. Okay, to the major root directory. Or before I do that, let me show you this command now. This pwd to check our current working directory. If I write pwd enter, it has told me that I'm in the home and I'm in the username of my home directory. You understand now?
Mm.
So
How did
just
you create this username? That's another
no,
thing
no,
I
this
don't know.
no, don't worry. It will come when you are installing Ubuntu. It will ask you to write the username.
Okay.
Okay, so pwd is used to print. So what we are doing, we are printing on our screen the current working directory that we are in. So we are in our home directory and the username, my current username directory. That's where we are in. But anyways, I would like to start by going to the top itself. So I'll say cd dot dot for me to go one step up, which means it will take me to this home part, because that's the home
Directory.
directory before it, right? If I do it again,
Okay.
cd dot dot, it will take me one step up to the parent directory again. And at the parent directory here is the root directory. You can see the different symbol now, the forward slash.
Mm.
So if I do ls, remember ls command is used to list anything that is inside. You can list your files,
The
used
view
to list anything in the
view list
directory.
of that.
So if I hit enter to show me all the list of all my root stuffs. All right. So this is the home we have been entering that we can use shortcut as cd to enter in. So for example, I can say
Mm.
cd home, cd lexis code. So now I'm inside that home, the same home we saw here. Now let me go back
Mm.
again. cd dot dot, cd dot dot. So ls, I'm back to this place. You can see that now. Now, using the
Mm.
shortcuts, I can say CD. Remember, I said CD is the shortcut of
Yeah.
taking you straight up to the home. And it has taken me to the home, in fact, the symbol. If I go and check it, you can see it is indeed my home directory. Do you understand
Mm.
this now?
Yeah.
Okay, now I want to again go back up to the parent, I mean to the root directory. Remember what I did there? I did cd dot dot, cd dot dot two
Mm.
times. There's another shorter way
Yes.
of doing it. You can say cd dot dot forward slash dot dot. So it's like a single line of, instead of you doing it two times cd dot dot, cd dot dot, you can just do it in a single line. Dot dot will first move up, then the next part is to move up again. If I click enter now, that's taken to the roots. If I list it, you can see I'm back here again.
Okay.
Okay, but I think I'm recording this stuff, so no problem. You can get to watch it later on. All right, so okay, am I missing anything? Okay, so that's just about that, and just know that it's always good to always use ls to check whatever that is within the position you are in, so that you will know what is ahead. So you won't be assuming that in your mind that something is there without checking if something is really there. So just note that it's always common to always use that ls. So next thing, I think the next command, which one have I not talked about? Talk about ls cd dot dot cd pwd. Okay, now looking at this one now, cd dash, that I said this cd dash will take you to the previous working directory. Before I went back to this my root directory, my previous working directory was the home directory, right? So if I do cd space dash, that means it should take me to where I was before, and this was where I was before. All right. So if I
Mm.
click enter, you can see that take me back to that place. So
Yeah.
mind you, it's not saying it's compulsory that it must always be in this home. It can be anywhere you are. They just know that the last part you were in, that's where to take you to. So that's the command of this cd dash. Now the next one is the clear command. So remember I said the clear is used to clear your screen, the whole of the screen as a whole. So if I click clear, it will clear everything. But before I click clear, I made mention of another alternative instead of using clear. So this alternative will take it one page up, just in case your screen is kind of like full and you want space. So instead of you using maybe this down arrow, this arrow commands, shifting it like this, it's like stress in a way. So there's a short way of just holding your control, which I'm doing now. I'm holding my control key and I'll tap letter L. And notice what just happened now. So it's actually take it one page up. If I scroll
Okay.
up here, I can still see what I was doing. I just take the page one
Mm.
page up. I just raise it up a bit so I can get space to do other things below. But if you are to really use this clear command, this time and this one particular, it will clear everything totally. As in, to even clear what is up. You understand? So that's the difference between of them. So it depends on what you want to do or how you want to run your own commands. You understand it?
Okay.
But in this
Mm.
case, I chose not to clear it. I just wanted to still be seeing some of the things we've done. Okay. Then, okay, I think
Okay.
I made mention about Linux names. Well, we've not gotten there yet. So, in terms of creating names of files and directories and the likes. But let's see. Okay, I think we've talked about everything here. Wow, that was fast. Okay. And just to add to this, and mind you, let me go back to the root position. So aside from going to home, you can also go to different places. Just so you know, I can go to this bin here. If I say cd bin, I'm inside the bin. If I do ls to check what is inside the bin, remember I said it's good to always use ls to confirm what is inside something first before entering. So I just did ls now. It has list all the old stuff that is inside this bin. You can say it's kind of like too much though. So what will I do to go one page up?
What would you do to go one page up?
Yeah, because everything has been filled up as
As in clear. Is it the clear command?
clear command means you are cleaning it.
Yeah,
Like,
you use the city.
what do you say?
Yeah, you use the control L now.
Okay.
Will it work here?
Yeah, it worked. I just want to know that you are sure what you are saying. Okay, so let me see pwd.
Okay.
So I'll say cd dot dot to go back up. So I'm back up indeed. Now there's something I would like to show you as regards to ALX terminal. So the sandbox. Wake up, wake up.
Okay. No, I'm awake. Oh.
No, it's the sandbox I'm telling you to wake up. You say you
Okay.
are
Oh.
awake. Are you not talking? Surely you are awake now. So if I click on the web term as expected, take me to another tab. So open the web term. Just like I always tell, okay, voila. So this kind of error can be at times be the ALS website, or at times might be my own connection. So I don't know. It depends though. Let's try that again. This is like the first time I'm going to see something like this affecting me. So I don't know. Maybe I don't want to.
Yeah. So
I don't want to click destroy for any reason for now though, because destroy means I'm destroying. I'm starting the whole sandbox afresh. Let me try restart though. Let me see. Okay, web term, still the same thing. Anyway, so let's see.
maybe it's network.
Sometimes even if it might not be network, can just be some shoko from the sandbox. So whenever that shoko happens, can just destroy it. So the issue is that once you destroy the sandbox, all your work that is inside the sandbox will be deleted. You understand? But don't worry, you don't need to start afresh. That
Uh,
is that that is where GitHub comes in. So you use GitHub to retrieve everything back. So when you learn about GitHub later on, you get to understand how to get it back from GitHub back to your sandbox. Okay, so let's see if this alternative will work. For me, I even don't like using this web term because it's not comfortable and it has its own glitches most times. So I prefer using SSH. Let me quickly show you how to do that SSH stuff. So just click on this SSH. It's actually copying a key. So I will go to this my sandbox, my Ubuntu. I can just paste it. If you want to paste it in Ubuntu, just right click. So I only just right click and it's right paste it for me. Then I will hit enter key. Okay, so it's asking me if I want to do this SSH stuff. So yes or no. So I will type yes and I'll hit enter. Now it's asking me for password. The password, this is the password here. So I'll just click on it. That's copy the password for me. I'll come back here. Then I will
where?
also
Okay. Okay.
then I will also right click again. So the password that's actually pasted now. You are not seeing it, but it's inside. So it's a security feature. You won't see what you are typing if you are putting password, just so you know. But just know that the password is entering inside there. All right. So I just paste it now
Okay.
inside there. So I will hit enter. So now I'm inside my sandbox. So that means I don't even need to use webterm. You can see this webterm is misbehaving here. But now I've alternatively entered inside that same webterm using the SSH. And I can prove it by doing ls here. Can see this is ALX. Can see how it's different from my previous stuff. Even if the username is different, the username here is root. My own here was Lexi
Yeah,
School.
it's good.
So that is just how it works in terms of doing SSH. And when you are using this SSH stuff, your network must, like, you must have network connection. You can't do it without internet. All right, so you have to do the work with internet and just get it done, then you can close it. But the normal Ubuntu can run without internet. Like this normal Lexis code, the local way can work whenever you are testing or you are doing something for yourself, you understand. But whenever you want to use SSH with ALX, you
So
have,
it works without network.
yeah, it doesn't require network at all, Ubuntu. But initially, when you are starting the setting up, after you've downloaded it, you might just need network to set up some minor things like install Git, install Emacs. After you've done that, you don't need network for anything. The only time you might need network when you are doing this SSH stuff and you want to work remotely with your computer. So that's just it about that. Now, I am the root. Um, this time around in ALS, they made us the root owner of the operating system. While this Lexis code, I'm not the root owner. That's why I can access home. So since I'm the root owner for this ALS, that means I can also access these roots here. But as me, I am back in my Lexis code there, I won't be able to access this root because I'm just like a normal user. I'm not like the real owner of the operating system. So later on, you learn how to convert your Lexis code to becoming a root owner also locally in your Ubuntu. But for now, you don't need to know that yet. But I'm just letting you understand why there's roots here and why in this other place there's Lexis code here. And you know that in your laptop, I don't know if you notice in your Windows laptop, you can create multiple accounts. Have you noticed that you can create multiple accounts in your laptop?
I don't.
Hmm?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. For example, now when you see maybe you want to log in your account, you see your name, maybe I think bold, and you put your password. You can also create another account that someone will see his own name there and and sign in his own in the same laptop that you are using. So just as if you can create multiple accounts, since you can create multiple accounts in Linux also. So you just
Okay.
one account which is less code. So you can create different one. You'll learn about that later on anyways. So anyway, so this is just all about the whole concept of what SSH is. And all these things we've been doing here are just simply, all this, remember this Ubuntu is a virtual something, virtual. So it's actually working as me you are using the real Linux operating system. No, we're using Windows here. Now let me show you why you need to use Git, why you need to have Git bash in your laptop. So let me open my Git bash now. Now this Git bash, the commands you are using, I'm sorry, I want to say something. Izu, the gate, pastor wan enter, the gate, pastor wan enter compound. Open gate now. Why you no go open? Think, oh yeah. Okay, no worry. Check out there. All right, sorry, I'm back. Who call you for food? Na the on there. Okay. Okay, so this git bash, what this git bash does is just like you can use your Linux commands to run the same git bash stuff. You can see ls, it plays this stuff for me. But if you notice, Windows has its own command, something called command prompts. So this command in Windows command prompts, you can run Linux commands there. If I do ls here now, you can see it say ls is not recognized as an internal blah blah blah. So Windows have its own different command line for doing stuff like ls. So all these ls and cd we are doing most times are gotten from Linux operating systems. So this is Windows
Mhm.
operating system. So the advantage of this git bash is that we can run Linux commands and it will operate in our Windows command. Now currently, if you notice this part, you can see where it is written here desktop. Why is it here desktop, which means
Yeah.
I'm in my desktop. Remember this whole screen here now, this is my desktop screen, right? You agree with that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now watch something. If okay, I've not explained that yet to oh okay, no, let me just, I'll keep this, I'll continue, I will explain what I wanted to explain once we just do something else now. So let me just, so we're done with this part, let's continue. Let me clean this stuff and Let me clean this stuff. Voila. Sorry. Okay. Let me clear the screen. So let's just go on with some other features of Linux. Then I'll come back to all those things. So we know our.
What were you using? What what were you using to write this thing? Sorry.
Okay, you mean this stuff in my screen? I mean this whiteboard in
Yeah.
screen. Okay, I'm actually I'm actually using something called a pen tab. A pen tab.
Okay.
You know what that means? Like let me pen tablets. So something like that. So whatever I'm writing there is showing my screen.
Mm, okay. Okay. Okay.
All right, so we will know our. So I think this in this next portion I want to talk about will be more focused on different features of what LS can do. So again, we know our LS normally for listing files and directories. Now there's something called an option, like an option command. So that option is just it's usually notated like something like this, and that's like dash option. So what this option does is that
I'm,
it
I'm not
just
seeing anything on the screen now.
what do you say?
I'm not seeing anything on the screen now.
Oh, okay. Let me maybe it's network. So let me just share the screen. How about now?
Okay. Okay.
All right. So this option just means like an added feature of LS. All right. So it just means like you are giving the LS command some extra features that it has. And before we go that safe, there's a command called man, man. So it's actually in short, it's actually called like manual. So manual page, just for you to
Mm,
learn some commands like that. All right. So, but if you want to access it, you just type man ls or the name of the command. It will take you there so I can read more about what those commands can do. Let's go to that place. Um, let me exit. I think is it quit? Okay, no, I think it is exit. Okay, so I just exit the ALX stuff, the SSH stuff. So I'm back to my normal. So I've cleared my screen. This time I use the clear command. If I go up now, I can see there's nothing. I'm clicking up. There's nothing up there.
mm,
Okay, so okay, I wanted to show you something about man page. So let's do man ls. Take us to the manual page of ls so you can read about ls command and learn more about it. So now ls to list directory contents. It's actually not just directory content, also you can also list the directories also. Now you can see we have option here. So the option is just like an added extra feature. So whenever we're writing option, it's usually in dash something. Okay. So these are the dash several things that it can do. You can scroll. Let me scroll down by clicking your down arrow key. So you can just learn several things using their different options, but we won't touch everything necessarily. We just use the popularly used one that you will need. So I just want you to understand that whenever you are confused about some command, you can learn about it by using the manual. So for you to exit this manual, just click Q. So I just click Q, it exits that manual for us. All right, so let me go back to what I was doing. So the options I would like to talk about is there's an option like this. We have ls then dash l. Now what this dash l does is that it lists for us in long formats the information we are seeing in the normal ls. Like this ls lists files and directories normally. This same ls also lists files. This like this first ls this files and directory, this same second ls lists the same files and directory. Now this option, the added feature it does is that it just added an extra feature of listing it in a long format, in a vertical format. This one lists its own in kind of like an horizontal format by default. Now this dash L lists it more like in a vertical
Okay.
format, something like that. But not just about listing it vertical, it also lists extra features of each of those files. Like we have more information about those content that is listed. While this one, no features is listed. It's just the names of whatever we want to list. It doesn't list extra features at all. But this ls-l lists extra features of each of those files that is being listed. All right. Now there's another command called ls-la.
Mm.
Now the ls we know is to list files and directory. The dash l we know is to list it in a vertical format and showing its extra features. Now the different thing here is this a. Now what this a, the extra a here does is that it it adds, as in this command now, as it is like this, it is the addition of all this command here plus an extra feature of that a. Now the extra feature of that a, that it lists hidden files join. You understand?
Okay.
Okay, so it does everything above, just that it have an extra features of listing hidden files join. So you can actually write it as ls-la or ls-al. Doesn't matter how you arrange the al or la. All right. Now this whole stuff also have a shorter way of writing it. So a shortcut of writing the same stuff is just writing ll. Funny, right? So it's a short way. So this is also the same thing as just ll. But just so you can get to understand the stages of steps, you can just choose to use the normal ls-la. But just in case you see someone using ll, just the person just wants to do it sharp, sharp, or you already understand what it's doing. So if you see it, you understand that it's showing all the list of files and directory in a long format, and also it's also showing the hidden files included. In Linux, hidden files are names that start with period. So if you want to name an hidden file, for example, it has to start with a dot. So maybe dot, the name of the file can be git, or the name of the file can be dot bold. Now, if I do cd my directory, I want to list what is inside. If I just do normal, I say cd, if I do normal ls, I won't see this hidden file at all. I'll just see the normal simple file that I have, maybe file 1, file 2. That's what I will just see. I won't see hidden ones. But every time I will see hidden ones, when I add dash a, you understand? Mind you, this dash, I can also do ls-a alone without putting that la there. So what this dash a is doing,
Mm.
this ls with this, like this normal ls in a horizontal manner. At the same time, the dash a will also add it by also listing hidden files too in the same horizontal manner. Remember the dash l is just to list it in a long format. In the
Yeah. In vertical.
Okay, so that is just the um what else? Okay, now there's also a command called more.
Okay.
Since you are on the bed, you should be on a chair and table. Okay, so the more command is used to view the text file. So used to view the text files. The whole point about this more command is that it's just a way of viewing a large file that has contents. What I mean by that is that if I, for example, if I create a file, let me say the name of my file is text.txt, and one of the starting concerning language is that it doesn't care about extension example of extension is this .txt or .png or .jpeg or .exe. All these things are what we call file extensions. So Linux doesn't necessarily need an extension. You can just name a file normally by giving it any name, and that name can be anything. You understand? But if you are using a Windows laptop, Windows always have extension. If you have noticed that. For example, now looking at this Excel, surely it has an extension of. Let me check that. Check the properties. You can see it has an extension of .xlsx. Like this extension is necessary for the laptop to know that this is Excel format. The same thing with doc or what documents. So it's always end with doc for you to know that this is a document. Whenever you are dealing with Linux operating system,
Okay.
it doesn't need all this extension stuff. I just give it the normal name. It doesn't need the extension for you to know what it can do. So just depend on what you put inside, it will let it know that okay, this one is talking about documents, we're talking about stuff. So that's just one of the exciting things about Linux.
Your laptop is Windows, right?
Yes, sure, it's Windows.
Okay. You will show me how to download stuff because I tried downloading some things. Things
Okay.
it was giving me headache, so I left them.
All right. So more. Okay. So talking about more. So for example, now if I want to list stuff, like remember this will list both my normal files and my hidden files in a long format and its information, right? Now I can, instead of me listing it normally in the screen, I can choose to pipe it. So there's something called pipe. So it's just like a vertical line. Then I will write more. So now I'm writing this. The advantage of this pipe is that it makes us be able to write two commands in a single line. So what this is doing is that the output of this ls dash la that should print on our screen, instead of it to print on our screen, it will print inside the more command in a more format command way. You understand? But it's still the same.
Mm.
It's still the same thing to print, but it will
Please
enter
come again.
inside. What do you say?
I said she repeat again.
Okay. I said our normal ls dash la is used to list all our files, our directories, our hidden files, everything in the vertical long format, right?
Yeah, even hidden file.
So the way to just list in our
Yes.
screen,
Yeah.
we can allow it to list that way inside another command. So it will be as if it's an input of another command. So whatever it lists that is trying to list in our screen will be listed in a more format way. So in a more command format way. That's just what I mean by that. But don't worry, you might not get it now, but when we test it, so we're going to see how it really works. So this small command is also, you can also do something, another command called less command. So the less command is also used to list contents of a file. All right. So the same thing with the more command. Both of them are just to list stuff. But the less is just majorly to list content of the file. So if I have a file, a text file, I want to check what is inside that file, I can just write less, then the name of the file, text.txt. So it will print out for me what is inside that file. But just that most times I hardly use
Oh,
this less. I hardly use this less command. I often use something called cat. So there's a command called cat. It's a faster way of just checking things sharp, sharp. You understand? So probably I will use both of them so you see the difference in both of them. Just that the less command, the advantage of using the less command to show the content of the file is if your content is very long. So if the content you have, maybe you're writing a story, you have a long C programming content or a Python content. So since it is long, you can't use these cards. It's best to use less. But whenever you are doing something short, like you write small, small short stuff, you can just easily use cards just to save your time and all. So we're going to test each of those ones also. Um, so I guess that's it about that. So let's flex with our Linux, our Ubuntu. Each of all these things we've been saying since. So let's see how it's really working on our screen. I would like to go to my home directory. So I'll use my shortcut CD, take me straight up to my home. So I'm in my home. I would like to check, confirm what is really inside my home. So if I do ls, so these are what is inside my home. Mind you, once you install Ubuntu and you do ls, you won't see all this stuff. All this stuff are things I created myself. Okay, so later on you learn how to create it yourself. So whenever there is nothing inside, it will let you know that there's nothing inside. Let me just quickly show you an example of that. So now I'm inside this dir directory, and mind you, directories are in blue colors while files are in white colors. All right, so remember, directory is a folder that has content inside. Like, I have several things inside directories. So directories are color blue, files are color white. So now I just purposely enter inside this dir1, just for example sake. So I want to check if something is inside. Is your connection still okay?
Yeah, I'm back now.
Okay, so if I just do ls, you can see it's not bringing out anything. It's not bringing out anything because there's nothing inside. So whenever you see,
Ah, you've created file. Oh, you didn't even notice I was not around.
I didn't notice though. I actually didn't
Really?
I actually didn't create the file though. I actually didn't create. I've not really gone far though.
I had a call. I had to attend.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
in short, let me just go back first. Let me just go back. Okay, so this was where I started from initially. All right, so I want to go to my home directory. I just did cd. So cd take me straight to my home directory. Yeah. So I can do ls to check.
Yeah.
So I can do ls to check what's inside the home directory. So what I said was that whenever once you install your Ubuntu,
Review directory.
now, you won't see this stuff you
Mm,
are seeing here, because all these ones are things I created for myself. You understand? So
okay. Mm,
when you are doing ls, you may not see anything. So one of the example I was trying to give is when I enter inside this directory. Remember, the directory is in blue color. The file is in white color. So a normal file like a text or whatever is in the white color. When you're dealing with directory or folder, they are all color blue. So that you can know the difference between them. So now I purposely entered inside directory one now, which I just cd inside. So if I want to do ls, you can see nothing is coming out. It means there's nothing inside there.
mm,
Okay. So let me go back up.
empty.
So let me go back up now. Just say cd dot dot to go back one step up, right? So I'll go back up and back up to my home directory here. So now let's test each of this stuff.
Okay.
So we've been using ls, so you can see how ls is working. So the next part is ls-l. So let's see how ls-l looks like. So this is the long list format I'm saying, or the vertical format I'm saying, that brings extra features of each of those files. So you can see the same file here,
Okay.
the same file you are seeing here, but this time I'm in the vertical long format, and each of them has its own information,
Mm,
the date you created it, the time you created it, all this other stuff here means permissions. Why are you laughing? Okay, can I continue? Hello.
yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay. So this whole part is
Yes, how you can continue.
the permissions. This one is just like the information of the date and the time you created the files. So that's just the advantage of the ls-l. Okay. Now, remember the ls-a. The A is used
Yeah.
the A is used to print out hidden files. You can see it has printed out hidden files. All this, remember I said hidden files start with a period, a dot. So these are all the dot hidden files. Remember, if I do ls normally, you won't see the hidden file. Unless you do ls-a, it will now show you the hidden file join.
Mm,
All right, so that's that ls-l. Now I can also print out this hidden file in a long format. Let me just create a space by doing it this way. So I can just say ls-la. Now that L is a long format, then A, hidden file included. So everything you are seeing up here is the same thing you are seeing down here, just that this one brings extra information on each of them. Hope you get it now.
okay.
All right. Um, so now let's see how to use the more command. So what I so if I do ls dash la, normally this should print out what we are already seeing here. So now instead of it printing out in this way in my terminal, I want to pipe it. I have to hold shift. I want to pipe it into another command. So it will print all these answer wise, all these output we're seeing here will be printed in a more command format. If I click enter now, okay, it's actually prints out in a more command format, probably because of this is not too long like that. So it should, I expect it to actually print in a long format. So okay, probably let's, for us to see a better picture for this, I think I will need to go to somewhere that has more. I'm doing cd dot dot two times, control L, ls. I think this bin has a long stuff. So let me try with this bin. If I say ls dash la pipe more, you can see now. Notice something. I can even see the more here. So the list is already too long. So I can just be clicking my down. I can be clicking enter. It will take me to the next line. I'm clicking my enter keys. So there I can be going through each of them. So if you want to make it faster, to be taking it one page up, you have to click your space bar key. So it's taking it one page up. So it is scrolling it faster. So that's just how to use more key. You want to exit the more command. Probably if you go to the bottom part, like let me just reach the bottom now. Okay, I think I'm at the bottom already. Oh, it has already exited me out. So anyways, so this is just how the more command is, right?
Mm.
Let's go back to my roots. So what's the shortcut of going to the home directory again? What's the shortcut of going to the home directory? Oh, no idea.
Hello.
I'm asking a question. I said, what's the shortcut of going
I,
to the
I,
home?
I
What do you want to say? Oh, you even left the meeting.
no, I'm here. I'm here. I didn't leave. I'm here. It's network.
Ah, okay. Okay, so I was asking that what can I use to go to the home directory?
Home directory.
Yeah, the short.
It's CD now.
Okay, good. So cd to the home directory.
Yeah.
Let me see if there are other stuff. Okay, we've talked about hidden files, ls-l. We've talked about more. Um,
Less.
don't worry,
You not talk
I
about.
purposely left that less for a hold. Okay, sure.
Okay.
Let me just do that less. Okay, for that less command, since I already have a file, but I'm not sure if there's content in some of these files yet. No, let's just hold on first. I'll do the less after this next round. So before that, I think I wanted to say something. Okay, it's still not time for me to say it. So probably it's this third round. So let me clean this notes and let's go to the third round of commands for Linux. So I think I can clean this part, right?
Yes, yes, okay. You go fit put am my you go leave
Okay, so looking at the last part of commands as far as Linux navigation
am.
is concerned. Now,
My friend told me they don't do that fish.
if you want to create a file, if you want to create a file with using Linux command, you
Very
can
Google.
use. Hello, are you there?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay. So you want to create a file, you can use a command called touch. So the touch command is used to
Okay.
create an empty file. So empty file meaning file that has no content inside.
No content.
Another way of also creating the same empty file is by just you can just use okay just for now
Greater
we'll
than.
just use touch because there's also an alternative by using a greater than arrow sign. So this is like one other way of doing it also. So these are the two ways. Um, so there's also a command called echo. I am sure you would have seen this one well most times. So this echo command, you can use this echo command to create files that has contents, or you can call it a non-empty. That means file that is not empty. A non-empty file. This one it has content inside. And
Okay.
the style of writing this echo command is just simply writing echo quotation, can be double quote, can be single quote, doesn't matter. Then whatever content, but this your echo command is limited in a way. You can't write long content there. Just maybe a simple line sentence or something short. Then put your greater than sign. Then put the name of the file. So what you're going to do,
Okay.
you're going to create this file and the contents that this is the content that will be inside the file, which is some contents that will be what will be inside that file. Now let's assume I wrote this stuff now with echo. That means I have a file named file name, and inside that file name I have the content inside is a text which I wrote some contents. Now if I again write something like this echo some other contents, then if I use double arrow, double greater than arrow sign like this, then I write again the same name of that file. So what this will do is that it will write this next one under this one. So it as if we have two line contents inside that same file. Do you understand?
No, I did not.
The first one here is used to create a file which we named file name. And inside that file name, it has a content, which is some content. That's the text that is inside the document, the Word. Imagine the
Yeah.
Word document. So now if I want to put a new line, I want to write something else. So I can use the same echo again to create a new line and write something else. Because that I will need to put double arrow sign here. So that's what will be under. This is the first content. This will be the second content under the same file. Do you understand?
Yeah, but can they have this? Okay, you can use the same word, like the same text. I don't
Sure,
know.
sure. You
I
can
don't
use
know.
yes, you can use the same text. Not you can use the same wordings. Yes, in as much as you
Okay,
are
but
placing it in the same file. So to enter to a new line inside that file. And notice
okay.
and
This
notice
double.
notice I use double arrow signs. Yes, it's a way of appending something called
Yes, double
appending.
greater than sign.
So it's like appending it to the next line. If peradventure you forgot to use this double greater than sign, if you just use a single one again, it will overwrite
It's the
what
right
is
text.
yeah, it will overwrite what is inside here. You understand? So this first one will
Mhm.
change to the new one you've put only. That means this one will be removed. It will only just change to the new one you put. You understand?
Mm, yes.
Okay, so that is it about creating file. So now let's talk about okay, creating file. So let's talk about removing the file. So if we want to delete a file, there's a command called rm. So rm is used to remove files. So if you want to delete a file, you just say rm and the name of that file, maybe rm file name, and click enter. It will remove that file, to delete that file away. So this is all about files. Now let's move to directories. So if you want to make a directory, or if you want to create, a directory, we'll use the command called the mkdir, just like saying make directory. So we use mkdir to create any directory or folder. Remember, directory is same thing as saying folder in Windows.
Yeah.
Um, so that's just it. You can also create multiple directory at once. If you want to create a directory, I can just say mkdir directory 1, mkdir directory 2. That means I'm creating it one by one, one by one. There's a shorter way of doing it instead of doing it one by one. Now that shorter way is that you can just write mkdir space curly bracket, then the names of those files. You can just say dir1, comma, there must not be any space at all. dir2, comma, dir. It depends on the different names of directory you want to create. When you are done, close it to this curly bracket again
Okay.
and hit enter. Everything will create for you straight up at once. Instead of doing mkdir1, mkdir2, mkdir, we're doing too much like that. You can just do it in this single line short way and everything will be created at once for you. All right.
Yeah.
So something else, what else, what else, what else? Okay, so we've talked about how to create directory. Now, how can we delete the directory? So for us to delete directory, we use the rm again. Remember, the rm normally is to remove files. But now, if we want it to be upgraded,
Mm.
for it to remove directory, we're going to add an option that is -r. So when you add this -r, it will remove directory. So we use this one to delete directory. Alright, that means if I want to delete this dir1, I can just write rm space -r dir1 and hit enter. It will delete this dir1 directory for me. There's also another command though called rmdir. Just that this one, the difference between this one and this one is that this next one below is used to delete an empty directory. While this first one here is used to delete both empty and non-empty. You understand? So most times we don't
Yeah.
use this stuff since you know that this one can do job of two things at the same time. So sometimes we don't really use it. I just say I should mention this just in case you see someone using it or you get to see it one way in a textbook or something. You understand what it means? So that means
Okay.
the directory has to be empty for this command to work. So this command can't work if directory has something inside it. You understand?
Okay.
So, but this one can work any case, whether it has something inside or doesn't have anything inside, it will delete it straight up. So that's their difference. Um, okay, let me stop here and show some practical aspect of all these things we have been doing. Remember,
So look.
I was the one that created all this
Okay.
stuff myself. So let me show you how I created them. So again, let me create a new file. So let me say touch. I'll name the file bold. So ls, you can see we have bold here. Um,
Mm.
let me make another. In short, I can also okay. Let me make another one. Let me name some bold double D ls. This is the first one. Okay, this is the second one there. Then again, I said this is
Okay.
a short way of also creating. Remember, I said this touch is used to create empty files, so there's nothing inside this
Yeah.
bold.
Yeah.
And for you to view that, you can use the less command or you can use the cat command. So let me just use cat for now. So if I say cat bold, you can see nothing came out, which means it is actually empty indeed.
Yeah. Mm.
Then I showed you another shortcut of creating empty file. You can use touch command or you can use a greater than sign command here, up here.
Mm.
So let's see that. So if I just write greater than bold, double D, ls, you can see we have it here. So either ways, whether you want to use touch or want to use this one, they both work the same thing. Okay, now next thing, let's use the echo command now and see what. So echo command, echo I want to put some contents, which I just choose to name as some contents. Then greater than sign, then the name of that file. So let me name this one Alex. So if I do ls, so we have the Alex file here. But this Alex has a content. So we can view that content by using the cat command. So cat Alex, you can see it has view what is inside here, some contents.
Okay. Sorry, I want to ask a question.
Okay.
Can't you just use what's it called? Echo for instance, you can't use echo, then maybe the content will be maybe God is good, then you put one of these files you've created, maybe bold double
No, yeah,
D.
sure. You can do that. You can do that. You just like also like overwriting. Like now, this these boards are empty. So if I do echo, God is
Yes,
good.
like put something inside.
Yes, I know. You can convert non-empty to empty also. So I've actually done that now. So we can check that. If I say cat bold now, you can see.
Okay.
All right. So that's now I would like to also show you about the aspect of overwriting. So if I do echo, God is great. And this one, I'm also using the same bold. So it will overwrite the previous stuff that's inside. Stuff God is good. Is what is God is great that it will show. So if I say cats, bold, you can see God is great. It's no longer God is good. So it's just a way of
Mm,
overwriting your stuff.
the first one, yeah, the first write up inside board. And if you don't want it to, or
Oh,
if you don't want to overwrite it, you make your what's it called,
arrow
your
greater
greater
than
than sign too.
double. Yeah.
You double it,
So they
right?
call it
Okay.
appending. So let's just do that. So echo God is good. But this time around, I want to append it bold. So if I do cat bold, let's see what's inside. You can see now.
Okay. Yeah.
So that is just also you can just overwrite everything two at once. Just if I just do echo Jesus is Lord greater than bold. This one is to clean both the two lines that are inside. That's
Two,
good.
right? Okay.
Yeah. So cat bold can see Jesus is Lord. So just
Okay.
overwrites the other one appends. So this is just how to create files and to put contents inside
Okay.
a file. So you can first of all create an empty file first, then use the
Okay.
echo to put the content, or you can just do it at once, create the file and put content at once with the echo command. You understand?
Mm,
Okay, now let's just delete some of our files. So I would like to remove some files. So I can do rm remove Alex. So if I do ls is no longer there again. So
mm,
I can do rm and delete bold. I can delete it more different stuff too at the same time with a single line. So I'll just have to list them at once. So to delete the three
okay.
at once without doing it one by one. If I click enter, what is this? No such file. I think I wrote this bold
The
two
last one.
times.
Last one was double D.
Mm,
Last one was triple D. Sorry.
triple D. Yeah, that was the mistake. So the triple D is still there. So let's remove that. Rm bold. Yeah, DDD. And just let me show you something. Instead of you sometimes typing this long stuff, there's a short way of doing it. You can just write BO, then you click your tab key. It will complete it for you. You can see what just happened now. So in case your
Okay.
text is long, like all this one now, my first project, it's kind of like long, then you'll be putting all this dash, it's like stress. So you
Mm,
can just put the first two statements or first three statements, then just click your tab key to complete it for you. So
okay.
hit enter. So that's just how to play along. So we've known how to create an empty file, how to put content inside the file, and how to delete the file. So now let's move to the aspect of dealing with directories. Okay, so that's not let's make directory. So I will say mk. Remember to make directory, mkdir is the command to make directory. So let me make directory
Mm,
bold. So this bold is the name of my directory. Remember for directory the color will be different. So you can see the color here, blue color.
yeah, it's blue. Mm.
So that means this is a directory.
But in Sandbox is not like this one.
The sandbox has I think everything is it white?
I can't remember, but there's no difference.
Yeah, I think No, I think there might be. Oh, Abi.
Okay, you can see multiple colors. Ye- you see multiple colors. That's just it. I don't know. I know I've seen purple, something like that.
Purple. Okay.
Sorry, I've seen green. I've
I
seen.
think green. Yeah, I
I
think
know
it's
there are
green.
different
Green. Cause
colors.
signboard green. Yeah, green is the this thing is the
Directory.
direct. No, no. Blue is the directory, Jare. Blue is the directory. I think the green, the color you are talking about, probably is this one. Let me go back to this place.
There.
Probably is something like this you are talking about. TMP and this green stuff here.
Yeah, TMP. I know there was a time I created TMP, and before I TMP, it came out as green.
Yeah, it's already default. You ain't actually create it. It's already there in the stuff.
In one of the questions, I think they asked us to create something
No,
like
they didn't
that. In
ask you
that,
to. They didn't ask you to create it. They asked you to move something to there.
eh,
Yes, that's what they said. They said you should create it. Um,
I think I created the thing.
don't do it, please. Okay. Anyways, okay. So we are talking about making directory, right? So ls. So we just made one now, which is bold.
Mm,
So we can just make another one, bold. So again, like I said, there's a shortcut to make it faster, to make it snappy. So curly brackets. Let me use Alex this time around. Alex.
but one, but two. Okay. Alex 1, Alex 2.
Okay, so whatever lists, just close it to the curly bracket and click enter. Do ls, you see all of them. Can see all of them now. Alex 1, Alex 2. So it's faster that way. Now all of them here they are empty. So that means I can use this rmdir to remove it since it's the command for removing only empty file. So if I do rmdir Alex, it will delete for me. Now I want to show you something. I want to assume okay,
You
since
can't remove all of them at once.
I can mkdir Alex 1, Alex 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm,
There's also another alternative way of removing them at once without actually doing this one by one like this, as in typing the name one by one. But just remind me later on. But there's something I want to show you as for this RMDIR. Remember I said RMDIR is used to remove only empty directories. So that's why it is working for us because those directories are empty. So now what I want to do now, I want
only file with empty directory.
yeah, empty directories. So now what I want to do now, I want to purposely make a directory non-empty. And then I will use this same command. Let me see if it will work. And you will see that it won't work. So I think we have a directory here, bold. Okay, let me use this first bold. So I will cd inside that directory, that is cd bold. Remember, if I do ls, there's nothing inside. That's why it's not showing anything. Let me take this stuff up. So that's why it's not showing anything. So let me put something inside. So let me just create an empty file. Like I can name the file anything I want. So whatever. So ls, we have a file named whatever inside. So let me go back to our one page, one step up to our parents. I see the dot dots. So I'm in my own back. So now this bold is no longer empty. That's something inside, right?
Mm,
So even something inside, it can also be another directory that it has inside also, not just if I can also be another extra directory inside. So nothing that is not empty. So now it's not empty. Let me do that rmdir bold. You see it won't work. Failed to remove. Directory not empty. You can see that now. So now if I want to remove it by
okay.
force, then I'll use the rm
We have
dash r,
m slash r.
then the name. That one has removed it. So if I do ls, we won't see bold again. Because we don't have bold, we only have the bold dd. So
Okay.
that's the difference. So even the same rm dash r can also use it to remove empty. So let me remove bold dd with this rmdr. You can see it has still removed. So that's why I say most times you may not need this rmdir since you can always use rm dash r for both cases.
Okay.
Um, I think we've talked about everything here. Wow, that's interesting. At least you are following up well now. It's no longer like magic.
Yeah, I'm following well. I always follow well. Like, let me carry my system now. I start. I'll start getting confused.
No, you won't be
I'll
confused.
start getting confused.
Well, it's part of the practice, anyways. And thank God this thing is recorded. So what I would advise you to do is that once I send you the recorded stuff, play it, be watching it in your phone and do it with your laptop and be doing everything I am doing. You get? So as you're watching it with your laptop,
Mm,
be testing each of them with your fingers. Pause the anytime I'm fast, just pause it and try it, then play it and continue. Pause and try it, play it and continue. That's how you will learn it fast. Okay.
okay.
Okay, so I wanted to show you something as regards to Git Bash. So yeah, this is my Git Bash.
Yeah.
So Git Bash, like I said, you can run commands that you are running on Linux using this Git Bash. That's the advantage of it. Let me clear the screen. So now I'm in my desktop. You can see it's written here desktop. So I'm in my desktop now, and this place, whole place is my desktop, right? So now if I want to make, well, we've already learned here now how to create an empty file, right? So I want to create an empty file, which I will name Alex. So I've actually created the empty file. Now let's find that empty file in our desktop here. It should be here in our desktop. This is the file here. You can see it here, Alex.
Where is it? Okay, sorry,
Now,
I zoomed it. Mm.
so this is it here. Can you see it now?
Yeah, it came straight to your desktop.
Yes, because I'm in my
Wow.
desktop position. So that's the advantage of Git Bash. Remember, this Ubuntu is just a virtual assumption of if you were to be in a Linux operating system. But now this Git Bash is like a reality aspect that we are in the Windows and to be reflecting in the Windows. So all these things we've been doing in Ubuntu, as when we're in our Linux, all these files will be indeed in our laptop itself. You understand? So just because,
Mm,
yeah,
yeah.
so just because I don't want to change my Windows, I don't want to change my Windows to Linux. So I just have to be using Ubuntu to practicalize, to virtualize, assuming as if I'm in my Linux. So something like that. So now I can remove this Alex. Instead of me coming here, like instead of me doing the normal procedure of coming here, right click, then click on delete. So I can choose, instead of me doing it here, I can choose to
Open.
delete it using this same git bash by using the command rm, name of the file. Now watch this, watch that list. You see that list will remove. Immediately I click enter. So I just click enter now. One, two, ready, go. You can see it has disappeared.
Yeah, it's gone.
So that is just the point about the Git bash. You can use it to do several things. You can create a folder. So let's create a folder to mkdir Alex folder. You can see the Alex folder here now.
Mm,
And it's actually an empty folder. If I open it now, I just click on it, you can see it's an empty folder. So I want to put a text inside it. So I'll say CD, I'll press enter inside the Alex folder. So I'm inside the Alex folder now. So I want to create a file inside it. So let me just say file one. So let me go back inside now. Alex folder. You can see file one is inside.
okay.
So I can also delete it from here, or I can
Wow.
delete it from the Git bash. You can see how interesting it is.
Mm.
Let me delete it.
I want to just delete the folder, even the file is gone.
Okay, yeah, even the file, that's if you delete the folder, even the file will be gone. But this time I just want to delete only the file inside. So rm remove, you can see it has removed. So let me create it back
Mm.
again.
If I want.
Let me create some maybe bold.txt. You can see if because of I use .txt. Remember Windows works with dot something. It's now wrote text document for me here. So let me do something else. Let me do something like dot doc. This one is like Microsoft Word doc. You can see now doc file. So this is for Windows systems way. So anyways, I can choose to delete each of them, or let me just delete the whole of the directory. For to delete the whole of the directory, what I will need to do, I will need to first go up to the parent directory where the ls is located. Then I will now remove rm dash r. Remember dash r because of just to delete a directory that
Yeah.
has content. So Alex.
Without content.
So it's not me clicking typing Alex underscore folder. It's kind of like a long story. So I just type maybe one or two letters and I'll click my tab key to complete it for me. Then I'll click enter. So I've deleted it like this. You can see it has actually deleted. So this is my desktop. It has just removed my
Mm.
desktop without it being there anymore. So that's just the whole stuff about the git bash stuff. So I think we have one last things to talk about as far as share navigation is concerned. Let me clear my screen. So there are two commands. There's something called, so I want to show you how to move, how to rename, and how to copy. So how to move something, how to rename
Okay.
something, and how to copy something. Now for us to move something, so let me just clear this stuff. So starting with the move aspect. So for us to move something, there's a command called MV. So MV is the command we use to move stuff. All right. Um, so let me do it this way. To move a file to another directory and give it a new name. Okay, let me write it this way. To move a file to another directory, and as you are moving it, you also want to give it a new name in that directory. So and give it a new name inside that directory. So what we're going to write is mv. So if we assume the file initially was Alex, so I want to move this Alex file into another directory, and that other directory, and name that other directory. Let me say maybe directory 2, then forward slash. I want to rename it, so I can name it bold. So the same file that is in this Alex is what is entering inside this other directory, and this time I now change the name again to bold.
Network is bad.
Okay, but do you get this part I said here?
Yes, it's just your illustration on the move that I did not get.
Okay, so I said, well, thank God this is recorded, sha. Okay, so I said this mv move, the mv command is used to move. So I typed mv, then assume that this Alex is a file like alex.txt, like a normal file. So I want to move that file inside a directory, like another directory. So this is the directory 2, dir2, then forward slash. And I said whenever I want to move it to that directory, I want to also change the name at the same time. So instead of it to be Alex in that other directory, I want it to have a new name inside. So I can just write directory 2 forward slash the new name, which I named that new name as bold here. Okay.
Okay.
So I can also just move it and leave the name without changing the name. So for me to do that, so that means to move a file to another directory without giving it any new name. I can just say mv alex and that directory. That's it, straight up. So it will just enter inside this new directory and still maintain the name without changing the name. So when you want to change the name, that's when you can now put the forward slash the new name there. I hope you understand this now.
Okay. Yes, I understand.
So this is the aspect of move. Now let's talk for aspect of rename. Want to rename a file. So to rename a file, funny enough, we also use this mv to rename a file. So, but the system, the way it works is that you can just say mv, let's say this is the initial name of the file, text.txt, for example. So if you want to rename it, you just write mv, the name of the original name, then the new name. So I can just say the new name should be text2.txt. So this one is the old name, this one is the new name, and the content that is inside is still will still remain the same. It won't change. It's just the name of the stuff that is changing.
Okay.
So that is just how it works. That is just it about the aspect of renaming a file. So let's go to the last part, copying. So how to copy? So for this copy, we use the cp command. So the cp command is used to copy. So let's see this first part. So if we want to make a copy of a file. So if you want to make a copy of a file in the current working directory that you are in, so we can just simply say cp copy. Probably let's just maybe the name of the file is again maybe text.txt. So we want to copy what is inside that file. Okay, so you want to copy what is inside that file into another file. So another file, you can name that another file anything, maybe text.doc. So what it means that whatever content that is inside here is also what will be inside here. So if I say if it is yes that I wrote inside here, yes too will be inside here. So I'm copying the content that is inside this file to this other file. Do you understand?
Okay.
So that is just how copying works. So the same way I can also copy directories. That means as we have a directory, let me say directory one, and this directory one, it has inside it has a file named alex.doc. And now I create a new directory, directory 2, but this one doesn't have anything yet. But I want to copy everything that is inside this directory 1 to be also inside this directory 2. So I can just say cp, this time around I will add -r. So that's just the extra thing I'm just going to add. So -r, then I can now write directory 1. I want to copy directory 1 into directory 2. That is how it is. So everything that is inside my directory 1 will be also inside. That means I will also see alex.doc inside directory 2 after the copy command.
Mm,
Yes.
okay.
So that's just how it works. So no much saying again. So let's practicalize this now. So what we first started with the aspect of moving a file, right? So since we already have some files here, let me just use one of them. So we have empty.doc here. So I want to move this empty.doc to enter inside this dir1.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'll just say mv for move. So the name of the file, empty.doc. Then where do I want to move it to? I want to move it inside this directory 1. I just click enter now. So if I do ls, I won't see empty.doc here. You can see we can't see empty.doc here anymore because I've already moved it inside this dir1. So let's enter this dir1 to confirm if it's really there. So I'll say
Okay.
cd dir1, then I'll do ls to check what is inside dir1. You can see we have it there. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, good. So that's how to move. We can also move it back upwards. Yeah, that's one funny thing. So if I want to move it back upwards, I can just say mv. So I want to move this empty. Remember, I'm still inside the dir1. So I want to move what is inside this content back to this my home directory. So what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to write the name mv, the name of that file. Then this time I want to use the absolute path method. So that means I'm going to do from my roots. Let it enter inside my home. Let it enter inside Lexis code because this home directory is Lexis code here, right? So if I click enter here, if I do ls in this directory, we won't see it anymore. You can see it's no longer there. But if I go back to my home directory, if I do cd, I'm in my home directory. If I do ls now, we should be able to see the empty doc. You can see we have the empty doc here. So I've moved it back to where it was. All right. So that is just how to move stuff. So that's what I said about you can also move something and rename it inside it at the same time. So for us to do that, like I can just repeat the same process again. I'll say MV move. So I want to remove empty doc again. And not move it inside there. I want again. But this time I want I move it inside. I want to give it a new name. So let's just give it new name. Enter. So if I do ls, we won't see the empty doc anymore because it has already entered dir1 and also it entered with a new name. So if I do cd dir1 to check that if it's inside, so I do ls and see we have the new name there. So that is simply how it works. So that's just a way of also renaming. Remember we talked about renaming. So if I want to rename this new name, I can just say mv the old name. This is the old name. That's the current name. Then the new name. Let me go back. Let me create back the former name I wanted to give it. That's MC. Is it MC Doc or what was it? Yeah, MC Doc. So this what I'm doing now. I'm renaming it. This is the current name.
Empty doc.
Yeah. So this is the current name, which is new name, and this is the new name now. I'm giving it back, which was its previous name. So I just want to give. I can give it anything I want, anyways. So I just want to give it back the former name. So if I do ls now, you can see we have the empty doc. So I've renamed it like this. So again, let me move it back to my home directory. So I will start again from my roots using the absolute path method. So starting from the roots, my home, the username. Oh, sorry, I didn't even put the file that I want to move. So mv, the file that I want to move, which is MC doc, then where I want to move it. So home, let's say code. All right, so let me do cd dot dot take it one step up. So that's it back here.
Okay.
So lastly, we are going to talk the aspect of copying. Yeah. Okay. So for the aspect of copying a file, which is CP, and for us to do that, I would like to let me just create empty files. Let me not create empty. Let me create files that has contents. So we can be sure that it's the real stuff. So I'll just name this one God is good. As I will just give it a content name, God is good. Let me say file. Okay, let me just say Alex. Mind you, I use capital letter here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the Alex here, capital letter. Remember I said Linus is case sensitive.
Yes.
Okay, so what I want to do now, I want to copy. Remember, this Alex has a content. If I do cat
Alex.
Alex, it should show
Yeah.
me what is inside.
Yeah.
And just so you see that this is case sensitive, let me do cat small letter Alex. You can see there's no such file or directory. You understand now?
Yeah.
If I use small letter, so that's case sensitive stuff. So I must use the exact way I wrote it for it to show that there's this particular file. Okay, so I wanted to do something. So we know we have Alex here. In short, let me rename. I think I don't want to be clicking caps lock every time. So I just want to rename this. So I've already renamed it now. So it will be a small letter. So this is small letter here now.
Okay.
We've done rename the old name and the new name. MV, old name, new name. All right, so copying now. So I want to copy that
Wow.
CP. Okay, so CP. So I want to copy what is this Alex inside this empty dot doc. So I'll say empty dot doc. That means what is inside is Alex. No, what is inside is Alex is God is good.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Mm.
And this is empty dot doc. There's nothing inside.
Yeah.
So I'm copying that content inside it. So I just did that now. So let me say cat empty dot doc. Let's see what will be inside empty dot doc now. You can see God is good. So I've copied the content that's inside Alex and place that content inside the empty dot doc. So that is one way of doing this. I can also copy, I can also move stuff too, not just even just copying. Like I can move this file, this Alex into another directory. Let's say, for example, now, let me go to my root directory, which is this part. I can, okay, just like this TMP now, if I do cd TMP, ls, can see, okay, I have some files inside here. Let me remove them. I want to show you something first. So we named, okay, so I just remove them now. It is empty, right? So now I want to put something inside. So let me go back to my home directory, which I just did with the short command cd. I will know that cd ls. So now this Alex, I want to move this Alex inside this TMP. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use the MV to move. Okay, so what do you want to move? I want to move Alex file. Okay, now where do you want to move it? So I'll use the absolute method. So I want to move it from the starting from the roots. Remember, this is the root position.
Yeah.
TMP. So just straight up root Alex, I mean the root TMP, hit enter. So if I do ls now, I won't see Alex anymore because it has entered the TMP. So let's go to TMP to check if it's really there. So cd TMP ls TMP. You can see we have the Alex there. Now let me move it back to the home
Must you do
directory.
this CD dot dot forward slash dot
Like
dot? Why don't you just
it's
do
just a fast,
CD?
it's a faster way of going two step up. You understand? Remember, you can just do cd dot dot, it take you one step to the parent, repeat again, cd dot dot, to take you another step to the parent. So this one is just like a faster way of doing it two times in a single line code. I think I explained this thing when we started this
Yeah, you
lecture
did.
now.
You did.
So now I want to move this Alex back to this home page that I mean, back to my home directory, right? So I'll just say MV. So what do I want to move? I want to move Alex. Where do I want to move it? I want to move it to my home directory. And the home directory location, you know, it is from the roots to the home to Lexis code. Then hit enter. If I do ls here, I won't see the TMP. So, but let me check my root directory. If I do cd ls, you can see ls is back here.
Hmm.
So that's just how it is. I think we've taken a lot today already. So look for a way to digest all these things we've been saying here. All right. So all these are actually basic things. So let me go to ALX question. Let me just talk about it, like the shared navigation part. So
Okay.
from everything we've been doing here, let's just see how the question with the shared navigation looks like. So now I can see the first question said, access your sandbox, normal. So change your working directory to roots. That means you just need to do cd roots. That's what it means. When you say change directory, remember change directory is
Mm.
cd. So change your working directory to root. So cd roots, then create an empty file. And what's the command to create an empty file? Touch.
Okay.
So touch underscore so cool. Or you can use that greater than sign,
Mm.
so cool. So finish, you are done with this. Just check your code, you check your code and click on start test. Then to check you successful, when check successful, you click done for you automatically. Don't click done yourself. Allow this check your code to click it for you automatically.
Are you
Then go to
serious? Hey, I've
yes.
been doing that myself
Oh no, you
straight
can
up.
click done yourself for all for the aspect of all those putting Google Doc, all those one doesn't matter. But when it comes to coding, in the aspect of all this coding, you must always check your code. If you click done
Are you
yourself,
serious?
once once they want to run the checker, like when they want to mark everybody, it will mark you wrong because this
Mm.
checker did not check you successfully. So if I click on this start a test now, you will see something. So if I'm correct, it will let me know that I'm correct and to click that done for me automatically. So that's the whole point. So you can see, congratulations, all tests passed successfully. So as mean you made the mistake, it will let you know
Wow.
that it show you some red symbol that you are not checked successfully, that you are making a mistake, you've not done something right. So you can click details to see details. So what this details is trying to say is that the first condition for this check zero to work is
Yeah.
that you should ensure you have started your sandbox, you've or use SSH or shall open your sandbox. The next checker said
Be code.
from the question that this so cool should be present. That's the file. Remember, the root is a directory. When you enter cg root, then you create your file
Yeah.
so cool that the file must be present. Once it's present, you should check check one is correct. Now the check two is that that file you created, it must be an empty file. That means as when you put the content there, here will be red. It shows this is wrong. So
Okay.
unless you make it an empty file to say it's correct. So it's just a way of checking the stuff you are doing. So looking at this next one, change your working directory to root. So as usual, cd root, then copy the file school. I mean, they created. I mean, you have to first create a file. I don't know if
They
the file
created
is
it
already
already.
there or you created it. Okay, they created. Okay, good. Okay, so just copy the
No,
file school.
maybe I think I created it. Sorry, I created it.
Okay, so create the file school. I think maybe probably school is an empty file. So create this file school and copy it to TMP. Funny enough, you can do this thing in a tricky way, which means you may not necessarily just need to create the file. Just go to TMP and just write type school there. you get you get what
Okay,
I'm saying?
okay.
So in as much as I don't want to see the two things there, you want
Just
to
go
see
to
the school
TMP, then you
and
create.
paste the school inside it exactly without doing the command shortcut, that kind of stuff. So anyhow you want to do it, but it's still good to know how to copy. So just do it the right way, but you'll still be checked successful in as much as the checker sees it here. So this next one, change your working directory to root as usual. Now rename.
Okay.
Wait, I just so now rename, change your working directory to so rename. Remember the rename is MV. So rename from the old name, old school to new school. So we already talked about that already in terms of renaming the old name, the new name, MV, the old name, the new name. So that's just what you need to do in your root directory. So MV old school space new school. Shikena. And that shortened way of doing it, you can just delete the old school, RM delete and create a new one for new school. You understand? Because it's still the same thing as renaming something. Just that the only difference is that what if the old school has a content inside? So that's why sometimes you just need to just rename without deleting it. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay. Just use MVO school. Okay, just
Yeah.
use MVO school.
Space new school also.
Okay.
This one, move the file not here. So I don't know whether you create the file or I don't know if it's already there. So you have to first create the file not here in the root directory. So move the file not here to tmp write school. So I think what this one means is that I think you are renaming the file. So this write school is actually a file name. Okay, so that's saying you are moving the file and at the same time you are renaming that file. That's what it means. And I
So
think I made mention of this step. I explained this step too when it comes to renaming. Yeah, so to move a file to another directory, looking at this first move part I wrote here, to move a file to another directory and give it a new name. So MV, that initial name, Alex, then the new one, dir2. You understand? The directory and the new name, the old. So the old is the new name. So that's what we're just going to do here. So this is the old name, not here is the normal old name. So just say MV, not here, space, TMP. In short, just write all this stuff like this, as it is like that. So that's just it. Just click enter. It will enter there and it will give it the exact right school name there. Next part, oh, just look at all these things yourself. They are simple, simple things. So just follow up. Delete a file. You know how to delete a file. RM.
if I tell
So
you
you
say I
will
never
delete
do
it.
this thing, sure.
So create a directory. You know how to create a directory. MKDIR school is amazing. Straight up. Just create it in the root directory. While this one, change your working directory to okay, rename your directory. If you already don't have to rename empty directory. So anyways, this is just everything about it some way. So I'll just advise you first sit down with my videos before you attempt this ALX tax, right?
Okay.
So I guess that's it for today. See you next time. I don't know, tomorrow is Wednesday. Okay, I think we can do it. We can go again tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Mm,
Okay. I was thinking Thursday would be better.
okay, that yeah, I understand. It's actually good we do it so you have one day break, right, to study.
Yeah. To look at what you've thought. before
Yeah,
and
but
the rest
another
of
thing
them.
I'm also
If there's any competition.
okay. The issue is that I'm going somewhere on Thursday. That means if we are to do it, well, I'm not really sure because that Thursday I might get very tired. But anyway, Thursday will most likely be a 1 hour session, sha. So probably we'll just focus because I want us to mix the aspect of Git and text editor. So Git and GitHub. No
Okay, no
wahala. So
problem. We can do tomorrow. We can do tomorrow. If tomorrow is convenient for you, no problem.
okay.
Let
All
me
right.
use
So
today
let
to
us
look at this shared navigation. Since it's something I
okay.
have idea of before, just for me to just go
That's
back, sit down and look very, very well.
okay. All right. So tomorrow then. All right. Have a lovely day.
Okay.
So what's your review now? What's your first class review about me now?
Okay. I don't know review.
Okay, anyhow, Sha. That is
I don't know
you are
review.
Sha.
Me, I want to know it too. Yeah, but you're
Uh,
good. You're good. You're good. That was why I contacted you. You're good.
okay. In explanation in particular, that's the major focus.
Yes, you're good with explanation. You're grounded, and the rest of them. But I
It's
will.
just for you to do your own assignments.
It's
So
just
that's
for me
just
to do my own assignment. That's it.
so
That's
that's
it.
it. All
Uh,
right.
no problem.
All right now.
Thank you.
Take care.